In a realm veiled in perpetual twilight, nestled amidst crystalline forests that hummed with ancient magic, lived the Moon Elves. Their skin shimmered like polished silver, their hair flowed like liquid moonlight, and their eyes held the wisdom of 1,000 starry nights. For centuries, they had guarded a sacred lore, a collection of songs and stories etched onto luminous scrolls, which spoke of the delicate balance between their world and the celestial sphere above. This lore, they believed, was the very heart of their prosperity and the source of their unique connection to the moon. Among the youngest of the Moon Elves was a maiden named Lyra. Unlike her peers, who spent their days diligently studying the ancient scripts, Lyra found herself drawn to the whispering willow that stood at the edge of their village. Its branches, adorned with leaves that shimmered with captured starlight, seemed to hum with secrets of their own. She would often sit beneath its boughs, letting the gentle breeze carry its whispers to her ears, feeling a sense of wonder that the old scrolls, for all their wisdom, couldn't quite capture. The keeper of lore, an elder named Elara, watched Lyra with a mixture of concern and understanding. Elara had dedicated her long life to preserving the ancient knowledge, and she worried that Lyra's fascination with the willow was distracting her from her duty. The scrolls spoke of times when the Moon Elves had strayed from their traditions, when they had forgotten the songs of the cosmos, and the consequences had been dire. The moon's light had dimmed, their forests had withered, and a chilling silence had fallen upon their land. One day, Elara approached Lyra as she sat beneath the whispering willow. "Lyra," she said gently, her voice like the rustling of silver leaves, "the ancient lore is fading from our hearts. The younger generations find the scrolls tedious, and their eyes wander from the wisdom they hold. You, with your bright mind, should be leading them, not lost in the whispers of a tree." Lyra looked up, her silver eyes filled with a quiet sadness. "But Elder Elara," she replied, "the willow speaks of the same truths, only in a language we have forgotten how to hear. It speaks of the moon's gentle pull, the stars' eternal dance, and the interconnectedness of all things. The scrolls tell us what happened, but the willow reminds us why." Elara sighed. She knew Lyra spoke with sincerity, but the weight of tradition pressed heavily upon her. "The why is important, child, but the what protects us. Without the precise rituals, the exact incantations, we risk losing our connection to the moon entirely." As the years passed, Elara's fears began to materialize. The younger Moon Elves, finding the rigid structure of the lore tiresome, turned to fleeting amusements. The nightly songs to the moon became shorter, the study of the stars less frequent. Slowly, subtly, the magic that permeated their world began to wane. The crystalline forests lost some of their luminescence, and the air no longer hummed with the same vibrant energy. Lyra, witnessing this gradual decline, felt a growing urgency. She spent more and more time with the whispering willow, listening intently to its rustling leaves, trying to decipher the forgotten language it seemed to possess. One night, as the moon hung like a fragile silver sickle in the inky sky, the willow whispered a song unlike any Lyra had heard before. It was a melody of pure moonlight, a rhythm of celestial tides, and within its notes, Lyra felt the echoes of the ancient lore, not as dry facts on a scroll, but as a living, breathing truth. She realized then that the willow wasn't meant to replace the scrolls, but to illuminate them. The lore wasn't just a set of rules. It was a song, a story meant to be felt and understood in the heart, not just memorized by the mind. With newfound purpose, Lyra gathered the younger Moon Elves beneath the whispering willow. She didn't bring the heavy scrolls, but instead, she sang the song the willow had shared with her. Her voice, clear and bright as a moonbeam, wove the ancient wisdom into the melody. She spoke of the moon's phases as a cycle of growth and reflection, of the stars as guiding lights on their journey, and of their interconnectedness with the natural world. As Lyra sang, the leaves of the willow shimmered more brightly, and a gentle luminescence filled the clearing. The younger elves, captivated by the beauty of the song and the vivid imagery of her words, felt a spark of understanding ignite within them. They began to ask questions, not out of obligation, but out of genuine curiosity. Elara, who had been watching from the shadows, approached the group, her eyes filled with tears. She finally understood. The lore had become stagnant, a collection of words without a soul. Lyra, guided by the whispering willow, had breathed life back into it. From that day forward, the Moon Elves found a new way to connect with their ancient heritage. The scrolls were still honored, but they were now studied alongside the whispers of the willow and the songs that echoed the wisdom of the cosmos. The younger generations learned to feel the magic in the moonlight, to see the stories in the stars, and to understand the deep connection they shared with their world. The crystalline forests regained their full luminescence, the air hummed with renewed energy, and the nightly songs to the moon were filled with heartfelt meaning. The Moon Elves had not only rediscovered their lost lore but had also found a new way to keep it alive, not just in brittle scrolls, but in the vibrant rhythm of their hearts and the whispering song of a wise old tree. Moral of the story: true understanding comes not just from memorizing knowledge, but from connecting with its essence and finding new ways to keep it alive and relevant. Tradition is important, but it must be nurtured with understanding and a willingness to see the wisdom in new forms.